and it's a sunny day in Santa Fe. Still a bit cool, but we're getting there. We need, for this class, as you well know, a yoga mat. If you don't have that, you could substitute with a folded blanket or a beach towel on a carpeted surface, because the joints will not like tile or wood surfaces. They're not very giving. If you've got a couple of yoga blocks, great. These are the styrofoam versions. If you don't have those, you could substitute with a couple of canned goods of equal size and weight, maybe some softening like washcloths on the top of the cans to spare your hands. And then I have some cushioning. I have a sticky mat. I have a rolled up towel. You could use small cushions from the sofa or the bed. And then, of course, a yoga strap. I have a standard yoga strap here, and that can be substituted with easily with a scarf, a belt, a dog leash. Very easy. And then should you happen to have hand weights and would like to add some challenge to the workout, this is a set of 1-pounders. I would recommend nothing heavier than 2 pounds for this class. So this is a 1-hour gentle Kripalu yoga class with me, Judith. So let's get going. Let's start by taking the feet about shoulder width apart. Let's swing those arms and just start warming the body gently by moving side to side, shifting the weight. Maybe as you twist in one direction, the opposite heel might want to lift off the mat or not. Just noticing how the balance is this morning for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep turning and twisting. Now pat yourself on the front of the torso. And now you twist and turn. That backhand is tapping up by the kidneys. They're a little bit higher up, just right under where the shoulder blades terminate for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly coming down, slowly de-escalating. Don't just abruptly stop. And then from here, let's take the hands to the hip crease or the waist. Start circling some hips, getting the hips warmed up, a little bit more alert than when you first wake up in the morning. Inhaling forward, squeezing the navel to spine as you round in the back. A few more in this direction. And then we'll corkscrew back to center, and we'll circle the hips in the opposite way. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Big full breaths. Standing tall as you whirl those hips. 4 corners of each foot rooting into the earth. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then again, corkscrewing back to center. Let's roll the shoulders and always work on opening the chest, since we spend much of our days hunching over, computers, steering wheels, shopping carts. So opening the chest, defeating osteoporosis as best we can. Let's go the other direction. Breathing and just noticing any differences in the 2 directions or not. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then shake everything out. Let's just drop the chin to the center of the chest. Rolling right ear to right shoulder. Coming back to center. Rolling left ear to left shoulder. So imagine you're scraping something off of your chin onto the chest. And we're only doing the 180-degree turn here. We're not rolling back. We don't want to smush those vertebrae there in the neck. That can get nice and tight as well. One more time in each direction. And then coming back to center, floating the chin parallel to the earth. Let's go ahead and you can take the chair for this. If you want to flip the chair around and use your hands on the chair seat for support, that's option 1. But if you'd like to use blocks instead, that's also option 2. So we have, if you have a block and want to use that instead, that's fine. I'm going to place it here in front of me. The long end of the mat is great because both feet will be on a sticky surface, sticky mat. And we'll start by taking the legs out 30 to 45 degrees. Hands can rest on hip crease or waist, and knees will track over toes as you move into a big squat. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs. Only go as far as feels doable. You don't want to push it or force it. You're trying to keep the torso upright as you squat low. Let's do 4 more. 3 more. 2. Stay down on 1. Now we do little pulsing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stay down now. Very nice. From here in this squat, take the right shoulder over in the direction of the left knee. It won't get there, but that's the idea. Coming back to center, left shoulder over to right knee. So you're lifting in the center, you're squeezing those abs, and you're just moving from side to side, warming the spine, moving in the lateral fashion here for 4, 3, 2, 1, back to center. And now let's take the right forearm, rest it on the right thigh. Maybe the left hand wants to rest on the chair seat, the block, maybe the mat if you've got nice long arms. And you're going to pump into this right hip. Knee tracks over toes. Left leg is straight. And the left heel is grounding into the mat. The toes point up to sky. Try not to let the head dangle. And of course, you're always squeezing those abs. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, gliding through center. Left forearm could rest on left thigh. The right hand could rest on the mat, a block, or the chair seat. And now you're pumping into the left hip, pumping synovial fluid into the left hip, that lubricating material throughout the body, nice and gentle, for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, back to center. And you can use the block to bring the floor closer to you, or the hands could rest on the mat. So let's go ahead and do a big squat. Inhale, squat. Exhale, straighten the legs and bow to your mat or your block. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And let's just stay in this wide leg forward fold. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Maybe some Mr. Ed, some horse lips. Getting the face involved. And here you might want to start swaying side to side. Be sure to engage the abdominals here because you want to protect the low back. And maybe the arms can swing side to side. Big full breaths. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's go back to center. Big plie, legs straighten, and then slowly rise up with a flat back as best you can, no rushing. Stacking the bones, rolling the shoulders, heel toe the feet together or step the feet together. Move the block off to one side. Very nice. Let's shake everything out, okay? Now, let's keep the legs wide. One more time. Let's extend the arms out to the side. We're going to go all the way down. One more time. Squeeze those abs. Right hand grabs outside of left ankle. Right hand grabs outside of left ankle. Chest presses close to the top of the left thigh. For 4, 3, hello hamstrings, 2, 1, staying right here. Maybe the top left arm goes straight up to sky. If that doesn't work, maybe the hand could rest on the sacrum. If the arm is straight, little circles here, 4, 3, 2, 1, other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm comes down slowly, coming back to center. Now left hand grabs outside of right ankle. Left hand grabs outside of right ankle. Chest pressing close to the top of the thigh. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Right straight arm up to sky, or hand can rest on sacrum. Hello, hamstrings on the right. For 4, 3, 2, circle the arm. 1, other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm floats down, coming back to center. Hands can rest on thighs. Back is flat as you rise up, rolling the shoulders. Very nice. Heel toe the feet together, or step the feet together. Let's take the feet directly under hips, and we can bounce the heels a little bit here. So this is kind of a place where you can shake off all the stress of the week or the month. I'm sure there's a lot there to shake off. So keep lifting the heels and then see how the body wants to move. You're not directing the body's directing you. For 8, little free form meditation and motion. 7, keep pumping. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. And then slowly, slowly coming back down to stillness. Shake out the arms. Let's try this. I'm going to take the chair, and I won't mirror you for this. So you do your right side, I do my right side. Okay. So let's start over here. You're near the chair. Actually, I'm going to put it this way. And I'm going to add a block just in case I have short arms. So this will be another level for this. And now for this, we're going to take the feet maybe shoulder width apart. And think about this. Think about leading with the hip, and then the head and the neck follows, and then you lead with the other hip, head and neck follows. So imagine you're, I don't know, smoothing a surface of water, perhaps, with your hands. Hip goes first, head and neck follows it, side to side. So we're working on the horizontal meridian of the body here, the only one there is, right there in the torso. For 4, 3, 2, 1. And then coming back to center. And think about those legs shifting now. Nice and shift with the legs. And then eventually we're going to come with the right hand to the chair seat or wherever you're using. And maybe you want to leave the toe on the earth. Maybe you want to leave it there. Arm comes up to sky, and maybe the leg floats. Flex that left foot, pump that leg up to sky. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then floating it down very easily, big plie, straighten the legs. So now you're getting the feel of that shifting from side to side. We're going to take the other side now. And again, the legs are fairly wide, maybe shoulder width apart. And you're going to think about leading with the hip, head and neck follows. Lead with the hip, head and neck follows. So you're moving in this very languid fashion for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Back to center. And then taking that hand onto the chair seat, you're going to shift the weight, lifting it up. Maybe the toe wants to stay on the earth. That's fine. If you've got the leg lifted, even a little bit, flex the foot for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And coming back down, plie, coming up, roll the shoulders. Nice, nice, nice. Now, let's take our chair, and we're going to sit in the chair. I'm grabbing my blocks, and the strap and the weight, so everything is nearby. Maybe you want to grab some water. And then slowly, I'm going to move this chair back. Oh boy. All right, here we go. So good, now my feet are nice and padded. Good, okay. So if you have blocks, great. If not, improvise with your hands. If the hands don't come to the earth, find a spot where you can place the hands on the earth, okay? The blocks are going to act as arm extenders if you've had them. Otherwise, just use your arms and your hands. And we're going to lean forward. Probably the torso is about 30 degrees forward. And then we're going to walk the blocks forward until you come to a sticking point. We don't want you to fall off the chair. What this does is this really stretches out the entire back body. Maybe it's a static press, but maybe it's little micro movements here in the middle. Little rocks for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to over to the right now with your blocks. You're grounding through the left sits bones on your chair. Try not to let the head dangle. Breathing, perhaps rocking side to side might feel good. You can choose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back over to the opposite side, the left side. You're grounding through the right sits bones now. Big stretch now on the right side of the body. Perhaps it's a static press, perhaps it's micro movements, little wiggles. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then coming back to center, let's walk the blocks back slowly towards your chair, towards the body. Hands can rest on thighs, come up to sitting, roll the shoulders, maybe grab some water. Very nice. So now from here, I'm going to grab, the blocks will go off to the side. I'm going to use the strap. And this is easy to substitute. You can grab a long, narrow scarf, a belt, a dog leash. I'm folding the strap in half. And one little footnote on this is that whenever you're using the strap, make sure you don't hit yourself in the face with the buckle. So, because I've done that, all right? So the arms are about wider than shoulder width apart. You're stretching that strap taut so that you're trying to break the strap in half. We're going to lift it up and then lower it down, exhaling down. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's do 4 of these. 3, 2, 1. Let's relift it up. And now we're just going to tilt to the right. The chest stays square to the front of your space. That's the challenge for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Tilting over to the left. Chest stays squared. The front of the space or your screen. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then slowly, at your own pace, just moving languidly from side to side, right and left. Making sounds if that feels good. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly lowering the strap down. Nice and gentle, soft landing. And then we're going to shake out those arms and shoulders. Let's do some chicken flapping here. The arms. That kind of feels good on my wounded shoulder. And then we'll bring that to stillness. If you've got a strap, loop it around the ball of the right foot. You can even out the 2 ends of the strap. If you're not using a strap, grab the back of the thigh, maybe also the thigh and the calf together, but not the knee. Avoid the knee joint. Knees get very ornery as we age, so we have to be very nice to our knees, okay? So here, if you'd like to sit a little bit farther back in the chair, that will give you a little bit more support. We're gonna bend the right knee, inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. I'll do this to the side so you can see. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Let's do 8, or as many as you can manage. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then rebend, float the foot down, lose the strap. Moving on to the other side. And here again, if you don't have the strap, you can grab behind calf or thigh, but not the knee. All right. So looping the strap around the ball of the left foot, evening out the straps. And then we're going to inhale, bend that knee. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten for 8, for as many as you can manage. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. And then rebending, removing the strap. Let's bounce the legs a little bit. Very nice. And now again, scooting forward a bit on that chair seat. No weight or one weight in each hand if you're using weights. Maximum of 2 pounds for this class. And then the palms face downward on the thighs. We're going to exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back to neutral. Take a breath or two here. Let's stay focused on the right side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale for 8, or as many as you can manage. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ooh. And last one. Ooh. It's okay to say ow. Put that leg down. Maybe shake the legs, bounce the feet. Noticing right side of the body and the left side of the body. Do they feel the same? Probably not. Okay. Moving to the left side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, almost there. 2, 1. Nice. Legs come down, bounce out the legs a bit. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take the weights off to one side. Let's extend the right leg here, right here in your chair. And we're going to float the arms up. Inhale up. Exhale, stretch over that leg. Draw energy up the leg, either touching the leg or just hovering slightly away from the leg. Inhale, exhale. Bring it on up. It's a big stretch here. Let's do 2 more just like this. Inhaling, exhaling. And this next one, we're going to stay over. Inhale and exhale. You're going to stay over. Breathing. Again, saying hello to those hamstrings, which might be speaking to you now. Breathing into the back body here. And let's start tapping the lower leg with the hands. Bringing blood to the surface. Stimulating the meridians in the body, which terminate in the hands and the feet. And then you get to your knee, you're going to just caress the knee. You're not going to pound on the knee. As I've explained, they're very mercurial, those knees. So be nice to your knees. And then tap the thighs. Nice and easy. And then when that feels complete, you're going to take one hand behind the back of this right knee. The other hand, I'm resting on a block. You could rest it on your chair behind your back if that felt good. And you're going to circle behind the back of this right knee. This is a place where the lymph material likes to dump. And the lymph doesn't have a pumping mechanism. The heart pumps the blood. We pump the lymph, apparently. That's how it's going to work. So you're going to circle the other direction. And there are many spots in the body that are places that the lymph likes to dump. Armpits are another one. And you'd be surprised at the number of places on your head that also do that as well. Let's come on up to sitting, inhaling up, exhaling over one last time, and then drawing the energy up the leg. And then we're going to bring that back to stillness, maybe bounce the legs a bit. How does this side feel compared to the other side? Just getting into the habit of checking that out, all right? So now the left leg is extended long. You're going to float the arms up, inhale up, exhale over, and then draw the energy up the leg. You can touch the leg or not touch the leg. It's up to you. This leg might feel slightly different than the other leg. Just noticing, no self-judgment, no competition. And then this last time we're going to go over and stay over, exhaling. And see if you can keep the back flat. See if you can not dangle the head. Like you're stretching your chest towards that thigh or towards the knee. So then now with the two hands, we're going to start tapping the lower legs, the calves and the shin. And then we come to your knees. You're going to glide over those knees. Send some love to your knees. Thank you for working. And then going ahead and slapping the thighs. And when that feels complete, let's take this one more time over the leg, exhaling. And then one hand could rest on the mat. The other one could rest behind the back of the left knee as you circle behind the back of the left knee. And you're remembering to breathe into the back body while we're circling. Reversing the circling now, the other direction. Big full breaths for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then starting at the ankle, drawing that energy all the way up the leg. Nice and easy. And then the arms can come out, the legs come back in parallel. We're back at neutral. Yay. So now let's cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh. I'm going to grab a block. I'm putting it right there so I have access to it. And you're going to place the ankle on the thigh muscle, not the knee joint. You're going to flex the top right foot. You're going to take your right hand, pump that soft part of the thigh with your hand. And this, again, is pumping synovial fluid into the right hip. It doesn't get generated until you start moving the joint. And then you're still sitting tall. You're still engaging your abs for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bringing that to stillness, the right hand and forearm will slide under the calf. The other hand grabs the foot. And if you can lift the leg, great. And if you have trouble lifting that leg, you can always take a strap and help the strap to assist you to move the leg. The leg doesn't want to go on top of that opposite thigh. And sitting tall for 4, 3, 2, 1. Replace that same ankle on top of the left thigh. That top right foot is still flexed. We're going to float the arms up, inhaling, and then you stretch over like you're stretching over a pile of whatever, just so you have a nice elongation of spine. And then the hands can rest either on the mat if you have nice long arms. I don't. Or it could rest on the block. Or grab opposite elbows and hang out with the leg up here at the top. So don't let the head dangle if you can avoid it. This could be a static press. I like little micro movements side to side. For 4, 3, 2, 1, back to center. Now, in addition to having that right foot flexed, you're going to externally rotate the foot, externally rotate it. You should feel it immediately in your outer right hip. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly rising up. Oh boy, don't rush it. And then unwind the leg. And then bounce the legs if that feels good. Loosen them up. Now the left ankle crosses over the top of the right thigh. The left ankle crosses on top of right thigh. And here again, if you have trouble getting that leg over there, grab your strap or your scarf or whatever you're using and haul the leg up there as best you can, and then place the ankle there. You can even keep the strap there to keep that leg in check, all right? So the top left foot is flexed, and then we're going to take the left hand and just pump the soft part of this left thigh while we're sitting tall in the chair for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Bringing that to stillness, the left forearm slides under the calf. The opposite hand grabs the foot, and you can rock the baby. Or you could name the baby if you wanted to do that too. And then you could also circle. So the leg could drift side to side, east to west, or it could circle. If you circle, be sure you circle in both directions. And then when you're finished with that, replace that ankle on top of the right thigh. The top left foot stays flexed. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, reach over a pile of whatever is there in your mind. And the hands either come to the earth, the block, or maybe opposite elbows. You're going to rock side to side maybe if that feels good. Otherwise, it could be a static press. Don't let the head dangle. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one. Staying right here now. Top left foot is still flexed. Now it's also externally rotated. Externally. You should feel it in your outer left hip. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly unwinding. Don't rush it. Unwind the leg. Use the strap if you were using the strap. Let's bounce the legs. Nice. Okay, so now let's come to standing. Let's do this first, and then we'll come to standing, and then we'll go on the mat. So stacking the palms over the heart center. Feet and legs in parallel, toes point forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale for 8, 7. Don't rush it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time don't sit down, but do little pumps as you hover. Chest and torso are upright for 8, 7, 6. Feet are flat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs, open the arms, shake everything out. And now let's remove the chair off to one side. I'm going to take the blocks and place them here at the narrow end of the mat, gently. And then we're going to go into down dog. If down dog is impossible for you, just come into a forward fold and hang out there, maybe shaking the head, yes or no. But if you want to do down dog, let's go close to this short end of the mat. Inhale up, exhale over, And then the hands can go flat either on the mat or on low blocks. And you're going to step back into your downward facing dog. So the chest is trying to press close to the top of the thighs. You can start bicycle pedaling the heels. Wag your dog tail. Big, huge stretch for the back body. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs and feet come to stillness. Left foot placed in center of mat. Float right leg up. Little pumps with the standing leg for 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg floats down. Now the right foot comes into the center of the mat. You're going to float the left leg up. Pump the standing leg. Little pumps for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left foot comes down. Knees float down to the mat. Big toes together. Knees wide apart. Press into child pose if that's available, or your modified version of child pose. I'm placing this towel behind my knees. It creates space so the bum gets closer to the heels. Maybe the arms want to stretch forward on the mat. Maybe they want to lay by the legs. Forehead should reach mat. If it doesn't get there, the forehead could rest on stacked palms, or the forehead could rest on stacked fists, or it could rest on the low block. So you choose what works for you. And once you've organized the arms and the legs, maybe there's little micro movements here side to side. Breathing for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then bringing that to stillness. Let's come halfway out of child's pose. And then the top of the right foot nestles into the arch of the left foot. And then you're going to press back into your child's pose. So you're smushing the bottom left foot, pumping blood into that area. And then the arms and the hands go on the earth to the left. The right hip presses away 45 degrees on the diagonal. Big stretch on the right side of the body. So here again, it could be static press. It could be little micro movements for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then coming back to center, rising halfway out of your child's pose, reversing the position of the feet. The top of the left foot nestles into the arch of the right foot. Then you press back with the hips, smushing that bottom right foot. Oh boy. Then the arms and hands on the earth go to the right. The left hip pushes away 45 degrees on the diagonal. Big stretch on the left side of the body. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then coming back to center. Let's go ahead and come all the way out of child's pose. Unwind the feet. Remove any prop behind the knees. And now if you'd like to pad the knees, this is a great opportunity to pad the knees. I'm going to use low blocks, but hands should rest either on the mat, hips over knees, shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrists, fingers spread wide. I'm going to use low blocks, thanks to my shoulder problem. So if you have pain in your hands and wrists, you can move your hands farther forward so you can take pressure off the carpal tunnel area. Let's start circling the hips now, just to see how fluid they are. Maybe you want to press back into a child's pose, maybe you don't. And of course, your belly is engaged, your belly's on the mat. Let's go ahead and roll the other way. Nice and gentle. Lubricating those hips for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. And then coming back to neutral, let's do some more cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, Squeeze the navel to spine as you arch like a Halloween cat. Dropping belly, inhaling, exhaling, rising and squeezing. Let's do 4 of these. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. And then coming back to neutral. Let's finding our way. We'll find our way to sitting. Taking your time, no rushing. And getting your props off to the side is good. Let's take the legs. Let's do something. I haven't done this in a long time, if ever, maybe in this class. I don't know. Let's come all the way to the back of the mat. The legs are straight. And we're going to do a little butt walking forward, maybe. I can interlace my fingers here so my hands are out of the way. They're not going to be helping. Just the butt moving forward. And then when you get there, you're going to move it back. Maybe. Nice and gentle. This is good practice. In case you fall, you can walk on your butt to the nearest chair to help you get up. Let's do it one more time. Oh boy. Going forward. We'll call this the earthworm asana. Going back and forth. Nice. And then coming back to a more or less center position on your mat. Let's go ahead and come to stillness. Knees are bent. Feet and legs in parallel, hip distance apart. Let's just very quickly press the chest forward between the knees. Exhale, squeeze the navel to spine, rolling it back. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, squeeze it back. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale. This time we're going to roll it all the way down onto the mat. Nice and gentle. Get my phone so to keep track of the time. So rolling it down, and you've got the knees drawn into the chest, and you're going to rock side to side, maybe if that feels yummy. And you're breathing for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then let's splay the knees apart as long as we're here. Grab your ankles or your shins, and then let the weight of the arms open up the hip crease so that the feet are dangling in the air now, and we're letting gravity open up the hip crease here. So while the feet are floating, let's flex and point the feet, spread the toes wide, circle the ankles, remembering those deep, full breaths, long, slow, and deep, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then closing the knees, dropping those feet back down to the mat. The knees are still bent. Feet are mat width apart. Let's start gently windshield wipering those legs from side to side. Thereby massaging that lower part of the body, the low back area. That gets nice and tight over time. So we're going to loosen that baby up. And the arms could be in T position here. Next time the knees drop to the left, leave them there. They could land on a block or two, maybe, or a cushion. They don't have to go to the earth. And then the face and the neck could look to the right. So bent knees drop to the left. Head and neck look to the right. For 4, 3, 2, 1. And then coming back up to neutral. Knees are still bent. Let's windshield wiper a few more times just to recalibrate. And then the next time the knees drop to the right, leave them there. And maybe the head and neck looks to the left. If it bothers your neck to look side to side like this, just skip it. Breathing here for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then coming back to neutral again, realigning the spine, and then windshield wipering those knees a few more times just to get back to a neutral feeling. Very nice. Let's bring the knees back to stillness. Let's take the feet fairly close to the bum, and let's draw the left thigh into the chest. We're going to angle that knee out 30 degrees. If you want to add a strap around your foot, that's an option. I'm grabbing the outside of the left foot with my left hand. Then the left knee is bent. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch it out to the side. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch. Let's do 8 if you can stand it, as many as you can stand. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, yeah, and 1. Nice. Rebend left knee. Place the left foot back down onto the earth. Legs again in parallel. Now you're going to draw the right thigh into the chest. You're going to angle it out 30 degrees. And if you want to loop a strap around the ball of the right foot, here's the chance to do it. I'm going to grab the outside of the right foot with my right hand. So it's inhale, bend right knee, exhale, straighten the leg as best you can. Don't force or jam it. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then rebend, foot comes back down to earth. Let's do feet mat width apart and windshield wiper just a few more times. Gently, breathing. And then from here, we're going to draw the knees into the chest. The hands wrap around the round part of the skull. We're going to bicycle pump here. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. Here, we're pumping for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Head, neck, and shoulders lie down. Knees come in one more time for a little more massage. Very nice. Let's return the feet to earth. Grab a block if you have one. And on the low setting, slide that block underneath the sacrum, that bony part of the low back. It's down here by the bum. It's not up here by the kidneys, okay? So mindfully place one leg up into the sky. Mindfully place the second leg up into the sky. So the body now looks like a right angle. Oof. So we're going to drop left straight leg and hover. It won't land. Inhale, drop. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Right leg. Inhale, drop and hover. Lift, exhale, lift and squeeze. So alternating right and left legs as you squeeze those abs. Big full breaths. Finding your own rhythm, your own pace. Remembering those abs are counterbalance muscles. If you don't squeeze them on a regular basis, one day they might fall out and they won't go back in. So we have to keep squeezing those abs. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep alternating, or maybe try 2 together. The legs are glued together. Drop it. 4, 3, slow it down. 2, and 1. Lovely. Legs are in perpendicular again. Let's flex and point the feet. Let's circle the ankles. Let's spread the toes wide. Yes, get the feet and ankle involved. Got to keep moving them. And then from here, we're going to just open the legs in a big wide V. Flex the feet, opening, pointing the toes and crossing. Alternate leg in front and back. Opening it out, using gravity to stretch open those legs and those hip creases. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then reclosing. And then slowly bending one knee mindfully, placing that foot on the earth. Slowly bending second knee mindfully, placing it on the earth. Press the feet into the mat, lift the hips, slide that block away if you were using a block. And then one more time, draw the knees into the chest. Gently massaging that sacrum, because this is what we were stretching with the baby back bends. So be very mindful when you rub on that back part of the body, the sacrum, because now we're doing a counter stretch to the baby back bends. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's take the feet down to earth. Knees are still bent. Left thigh crosses over top of right thigh. No space between the thighs. If you want to braid the lower legs, it's also an option. Arms are in T position, dropping the knees to the right. Maybe looking to the left, but maybe not if it bothers your neck. A supine twist, a little bit more extreme than the one we just did a few minutes ago. For 4, 3, 2, 1. And then coming back to center, slowly unwinding. Now crossing right thigh over left thigh, no space between the thighs. You might want to braid the lower legs this way, but maybe not. Now the bent knees drop to the left. The face and the neck look to the right. If it bothers your neck to look to the side, just skip that part. For 4, 3, 2, 1, unwinding slowly, and then shaking out the legs very nicely. Just elevate the legs one more time. Now left thigh crosses over right thigh, no space between the thighs. You're going to bend both knees, grab the shins like bicycle handlebars. Feet are flexed. Uh-oh, here we go. You're going to draw those thighs into the chest with a steady pressure. Feet are flexed. And now feet are also externally rotated. You should feel it in your outer left hip. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwind the legs, shake them out. Nice and gentle. Right thigh over left thigh. Knees are bent. Grab shins like bicycle handlebars. Feet are flexed. Back of neck is long. Draw the thighs into the chest with a steady pressure, not a pulse. Both feet are flexed. Both feet externally rotate. You should feel it in your outer right hip. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it. And again, shake the legs nicely. And maybe a little kicking yourself in the butt. For 8, 7, 6, 5. Pump the legs. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then slowly coming down into your best version of Shavasana, resting pose, corpse pose. Traditional Shavasana is on the back, arms and legs 30 to 45 degrees. Maybe rolling on something under the knees if you want to protect the low back. If flat on the back is impossible, return to feet mat width apart, knees knocked together like a tent in the middle, restorative rest. If on the back isn't working at all, roll to one side, stacking hips and legs, resting your head on the upper arm. Or maybe if you have an available wall, legs up the wall, or sitting in a chair quietly, feet flat, crown of head lined up with tailbone, nice long spine. And then whatever posture you've chosen, once you've organized the arms and the legs, allow the eyes to drop closed. Noticing the effects of the practice, just scanning the body gently, noticing the effects of the practice, and breathing into any residual tension that might remain. And once that's occurred, just noticing that relaxation forming in the soles of the feet, as though we're placing those feet in a delicious hot tub. And that warmth moves into the feet, the ankles, the low legs, and then it moves into the knees, permeating the complex structure of the knees. And then it moves into the thighs, legs, and feet, becoming very heavy. The softness moves into the hips, the pelvis, the buttocks, the low back releases. And from there, it moves from the waist and into the torso, enveloping the ribs, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, pancreas, spleen, all the vital organs deeply relaxed. From there, it moves into the chest and shoulders, rolls down both arms all the way to the fingertips, all the way to the fingertips. It moves into the throat and the neck now. And then it envelops the head all the way to the crown of the head. The back of the neck releases. The face and the jaw let go. The tongue lies at the bottom of the mouth, teeth slightly apart. Eyes sink deep into the skull, as though a white circle of healing light permeates every cell in the body. Noticing back body and front body, right side and left side. Noticing the earth below supporting you. The stars, moon, galaxies far above. Noticing the space you've created inside the body and the space around the body. Noticing the whole body together now. The whole body together. The whole body together. And here's a poem by Dana Faulds, Faulds, entitled Walk Slowly. It only takes a reminder to breathe, and something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race. We will all cross the finish line. It's waking up to life that we were born for. As many times as I forget and catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I am going. That many times I can stop, breathe, and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. If you'd like to remain here in Shavasana for as long as feels right, please feel free to stay right there. But if you're ready to meet the day, begin to bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes and arms and legs. Maybe deepening the breath. And if you're on the earth, drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a well-deserved hug. And then rolling onto your favorite side and pausing there for just a few breaths in embryo posture. And on the next inhale, keeping the eyes closed, press yourself up into a comfortable seated posture, rooting the sits bones down into the earth, drawing the crown of the head up into the sky, scanning the body for the effects of the practice, and thanking the body for all it does all day, every day. And bringing to mind one thing for which you are grateful. And on the next inhale, let's float the palms up overhead, hands meet in prayer. Dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart, Samastiti. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May you know peace. I salute the bright light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.